Now, so this is the group on XAG. All right, the market has moved from here. Let me look for the one where exactly where I call the trade, maybe on Honda. All right, so but yeah, I called a trade from somewhere around here. I caught it from somewhere around here, and then we took profits at this bottom, on this candle, on this bottom, before market started going up. So we made really good amount of money there. I personally on that trade made about, because I'm trading with a small account, right? I made $4,250 on that trade. All right. So for those who want to join the Signal channel, I'm going to share the link before this live session ends, or if you are watching this on a later date, check the description box or the first comments that is pinned in the comment section. You're going to see info to that, but I'll share it for you guys. I want you guys to concentrate. I don't want you guys to click out right now on this stream, so just concentrate. Look at me. Let's do some real trades. All right, so first off, I did an analysis on XAG, which I think still holds. So from the daily, that's where I'm starting from. So okay, let me switch to capital.com. Cool. So from this daily chart, you can clearly see that market has been on an uptrend, as well as gold, about the same movement. All right, I'm not going to flog too much on regard the analysis because I've been doing that from back to back. I'm also going to talk about what things you need to see before you can say, I want to get in right now. What signals an entry for you? What should signal an entry for you? What should signal an entry for you? That's going to be the major topic. So from the daily, I'll go on the 4-hour time frame, and I'll go on the 1-hour time frame, and I'll go on the 15 minutes time frame. So you should write this down if you're a day trader. As a day trader, right? If you're a day trader, day traders, make sure you get your main trend from 4 hours. Main trend, M for main. Get your main trend from H4. All right, H4, 4 hours. Your current trend, your current trend, C for current trend from H1, 1 hour. That's what I do every now and then. You guys clearly see. That's all I always do. And then you do your entry, E for entry. Entry on M15. All right. So what this simply means, let me break this down. What this means is that whenever you get to a chart that you don't really know what's going on, it's your first time getting to chart, first head straight to 4-hour time frame. And when you get on the 4-hour time frame, you get to know, okay, what is the imminent trend? Like for example, I check on daily first. Daily, I don't want to ask daily, so I would know about daily. Just tells us the bigger trend, what's going on. All right, but 4-hour time frame is what tells me the main trend, what's currently happening on the main trend. So if I'm to judge this by main trend right now, the main trend is going up, right, on the 4-hour time frame. If we judge from this point to this side, all right, obviously that's the main trend. Then the current trend. So what is a trend? A trend is when there's a consecutive higher highs and higher lows. So for example, judging from this point, this is a low. This is a low where market has created an L, low. Then it went up and it created a high by coming to this tip. So this is a low, and then this is a high. Then, and it came down and created a low, but this low is higher than the previous low. Hence, you call it a HL, higher low. It's a low, but it's higher than the previous low here now. All right. Then it went up and it rested. It created a high that is higher than its previous one. Hence, you call it a higher high. Higher high, HH. Right? Then it created a low again, and then this is a higher low. Then it created another high, which is a higher high. Then it created a higher low, like that. Then now it's created a higher high. So what are we after a higher high? What's the next thing? It's a higher low. So this is on the 4-hour time frame. So hence, whenever we are seeing consecutive higher highs and higher lows, whereby we can put like a line, a diagonal line underneath it, then that means, and if it's going upwards, then we can call this a bullish trend, bull trend, or up trend. Right? This is what we're currently looking at. Then direct opposite of this is a downtrend. Then we call that a sell trend or bearish trend. But this is a bull trend. So we already ascertained from here to here. So when dealing with trend, you don't have to go too far because you want to trade the current market right now because you're a day trader. You're not looking at, okay, what's been happening. Like if we were to check from here to this point, obviously we'll say we're in a downtrend. So this same principle that I did here in this small circle, we're going to repeat this whole thing right on this whole thing. So we're going to say an impulse, you corrected, impulse, then you move back up, impulse, you corrected a bit, come here, impulse, like that. You're going to keep talking about this tiny trend type of thing. But now I'm making you deal with as a day trader, dealing with being a day trader. So I'm not talking about swing trading. This is day trading. All right. So now on 1 hour time frame, we've listed all of these things. So this is what is currently going on. As a day trader, you would know a trend is now invalid when this thing happens. For example, if at this point this is a low and then this is a high, this was a low that was formed and then this was a high and this was a higher low. If at any point the candle comes back and takes out this initial low, then this is now like a continuation for a downtrend. Or if at any point this higher low took out this previous higher low, then we are now in on a reversal. So what happens if from here we see a very strong bearish candle that took out this initial, this last low? This is now what we call reversal. Okay. Breakout. It breaks out and then you can now start seeing drop all through. All right. But whenever this happens, it's called continuation. So the type of pattern you want to see in this type of place, you want to see continuation chart pattern. So it's easy. If you go on Google, once you already understand where you are, just say reversal chart pattern. That's one, and continuation chart pattern. But then, do you know the problem with you guys? You guys understand, you guys see these patterns every day. You see it, but you don't know which one. You are trading reversal chart pattern as though it's a continuation chart pattern. Reversal chart patterns, these are patterns that you see that the market is telling you that it is about to reverse. The market has got a voice. It's telling you things every now and then. That's what the candlestick does. So whenever you see like a head and shoulder, an opposite of head and shoulder is inverse head and shoulder. All right. Then it's telling you that it's about to drop. It's about to change. It's a reversal. On the flip side, if you see like a pin-up, a triangle, or this type of chart pattern like these ones, it's not telling you that it's about to reverse. It's a continuation. It's telling you I'm about to continue. If it wasn't a buy, I'm about to continue buying. But if it's a reversal, you saw a head and shoulder, it's telling you that I was buying before, now I want to start selling. Stop using them wrongly. All right. So I've also broken that down in one of my videos where I talk about reversal chart pattern and many other types. Cool. So with all this understood, let me just go straight to analysis and let's take trade today because I don't want market leaving us because I'm doing too much of teaching. So if you guys have questions, just keep it. When it's time for questions towards after my analysis, I will take some of those questions. All right. I think we're good now. Let's go. All right. You already understand trend and every other thing. So let's do analysis on. But do not make sure you walk away with this thing I just wrote out here. Right. If you are a day trader, main trend for H4, current trend on H1, entry on M15. Is that correct? Cool. So since this is already clear, let me just take these things out. Cool. I've seen my dailies and I've seen my levels and everything. So I think there's a clear level right here. Boom. There's a better level too about here. Another one. So I come on the 4 hour time frame. I'm looking at for a very solid level. On 1 hour time frame, this has got a nicer story that is telling me it's going on right here. On M15 for execution. interesting level. So all I just want now is maybe this level to be tapped. That's all I just want. This is an opportunity level. Let's see what happens here at this point. This is for silver. I'm patiently waiting at this point for silver, and then we'll know what action to take. Then for gold is pretty much about the same thing, but this point is a tap, and here is a breakout point too as well. So price is likely to come tap on here, and then market moves on the bullish side. So gold is looking bull. We can quickly catch some bull moves, some bullish moves. Why? Because the same principle, which is what I also adhere to right here. So first off, on the daily, we are in on a bullish trend from here, right? So on the 4-hour time frame, says about the same thing. On the 1-hour time frame, exactly the same thing. And on 15, we have to execute on that. So what I'm seeing here now is that 1 hour is for price to tap on here, which you already tapped upon that retracement. Now we are seeing that. So if price ever come back there again, we'll shoot. If price ever comes back there, hopefully it does, and then we'll go in on a buy. All right. So if I'm going in on a buy on that point, because we're in a bullish trend, then that will mean that my stop is going to be somewhere about 161 pips. That's a lot, but that will also mean with greater responsibility of coming to doing at least 300 and something, like so, 339 pips, something like that. But don't get in yet. I'll let you guys to know, so we can also reduce our loss, the potential loss risk. All right, I believe we are cool. Are we understanding this now? So it's dropping more for us. It's dropping more. So stop loss from 1.6 is now currently 1.3. It still can drop, but if it drops exactly at this point, wow, this would be so nice. So let's hang on there, and we're going to take an opportunity pretty soon. So is there any question so far? Go to 5 minutes to see what kind of price action happened there. Okay, new candle popped up. A new candle popped up. That's all that just happened. Okay, let's give it some more time. No rush. What I need to see is that there is a slight tap off of my zone. Like the way here was been tapped, here has also been tapped. Last week, I talked about zones. That you just don't look for reversal pattern in Tom, Dick, and Harry point, or continuation chart pattern. Instead, you look out for them at a solid zones. So that zone is where you need to be acting off of it. So that is why it's important you have to learn how to plot zones. So the zone I've already plotted here now are these zones that are already beneath us here. There are zones that are at this point. So anytime these zones get broken, like you saw the way when market got here, it broke it up, and you saw how market we took advantage of that and we made really good loads of profit. So the same thing is about happening here now. So anytime price pushes back down a bit, we're going to be getting in, and that's what does really matter with entry. So I'm not going to get in yet until I see a very clear one. Because it's important we are getting in at a nice price. So that's on XAUSD. Meanwhile, let me also check on XAG. On XAG, we have a pattern like this. Market is testing off at this point. Let's see if this happens. Okay, don't worry, I'm seeing you guys messages. I'll attend to you, please. Someone is asking for stop loss already. I don't have trade running yet, so why should I give a stop loss? There's no trade running yet, so hold on. One trade is running, I'll give stop loss. There's no stop loss. I'm looking forward to catch trade here, and then probably this will be my stop loss point. Okay, so relax. I think you're 2 steps ahead of us. All right, so let me take some few questions. whilst I'm waiting for this trade to marinate. I don't want to get in just yet. I think it will be too early for me to get in. This would have been a perfect time when it came down to get in, but now not anymore. Not anymore. So we'll have to wait. You have to play the waiting game. So let me take some few questions in the chat box. That thought that trading is actually nurture. The other one said no, it's nature. You are born a trader. The other one said no, you're not born a trader. You can be taught to trade like a very good trader, and you outsmart the best on the best traders. And it was proven in that book. You saw what happened. They took 23 people from different spheres of life. One was a single mom, the other one was a daughter, the other one was a lawyer, engineering, from different part of life, and they proved the point, and it was clean. So that's what that book is. So I recommend you read that book. So from every weekend, I'll be recommending one book for the rest of this month and next one, so that we all can sharpen our knowledge on XAG. All right, and I asked them here. Let me look for the one where exactly where I call the trade, maybe on Honda. All right, so but yeah, I called that trade from somewhere around here. I caught it from somewhere around here, and then we took profits at this bottom, on this candle, on this bottom, before market started going up. So we made really good amount of money there. I personally on that trade made about, all right. So for those who want to join the Signal channel, I'm going to share the link before this live session ends, or if you are watching this on a later date, check the description box or the first comments that is pinned in the comment section. You're going to see info to that, but I'll share it for you guys. I want you guys to concentrate. I don't want you guys to click out right now on this stream. So just concentrate. Look at me. Let's do some real trades. All right. So first off, I did an analysis on XAG, which I think still holds. So from the daily, that's where I'm starting from. So okay,